Cyreta, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. How are you? How are you doing,
Good,
Jen? Yeah.
good. It's good to connect again. I know we were talking last Monday as we worked through some of the thinking into results material, and then we decided, well, we have such a great conversation. Let's just let's use our conversation to help people understand what we're doing and a little bit more about thinking into results. So I
Yeah,
guess the
absolutely.
first.
No, I was just saying absolutely because I get persons reaching out to me. What we post is pretty interesting, but they have no idea like why we're doing it and what's the motive behind it. So I think, the fact that we decided to jump on this call would be so helpful and hope that people find value out of it and can be inspired in some way.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping the same thing too. So some of the things we talked about earlier um, during our call was, why we're getting to learn each other a little bit better too, right? So what was the
Mhm.
reason that you joined um, TIR and went through the program?
So I was looking for something more. And I've been looking all my life, I can say. The searching for something more. I always feel like there's something inside that is wanting to come out, but I didn't know what it was. And so a year and a half ago, I decided to get a coach. And that went well. That was on the business side. But there was also something else like, who are you really? I mean, I know who I am. I know my name, I know my background, I know my experiences, I know what I like, but there was just so much more. It was just this craving inside. And in looking for that mentor, I found one of the greatest teachers that was still alive up to a few weeks ago. And the weird thing about it, I've been wanting to work with this mentor for the past 14 years. The first time he came out in The Secret, I've been wanting to work with him, and it didn't happen until I had that burning desire just to make it happen. So I went searching and I found thinking into results. What about yourself?
Well, I started off the working with Bob Proctor under the mentoring program, the coaching program. And at that time, I worked in the corporate world for like 20 years, and I was very successful in what I was doing, but it just didn't seem fulfilling anymore. So I was on that search of what am I missing? There's more to life than what I'm realizing. That's the feeling that I had. And whenever I went on that search, that's whenever I ran across Bob Proctor. And I was familiar with The Secret, but I wasn't real familiar with Bob at that time. But as I read about him and got into some of his training and started being mentored by him, I was just amazed at some of the material I was learning. And that's why I jumped right in. And then I started with thinking into results. And so that was kind of my journey.
Yeah, and pretty similar as well, because right before I got the coach as well, I was in corporate, just working the regular 9 to 5, but always, and we spoke about this, just you're sitting at your desk, but then you just feel like you want to get up, you want to move, you want to do something else, you just feel like something is missing. And forever grateful for the opportunities that we've gotten in terms of professional development. But at the same time, I think it was just meant to be.
Oh, absolutely. I think so too. I think so too. I think back about everything in my life, and I've learned so much through my career. And I'm so happy with all the tools that I've learned. But I think it was just time to start fresh, start new, and, you know, try something for myself. So, something
Yeah,
that I really wanted to do.
yeah, so cool. There is a little bit of a feedback from my side. I don't know if you hear it, like the volume goes up and down.
No, it sounds fine. Sounds fine on my side.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, so pretty interesting. And The thing with Bob, so for me, when I watched The Secret, he actually stood out. He actually stood out. He was one of those persons. There's something about him. I don't know if it was like my dad talking to me or my granddad. I just felt an instant connection. So I did go searching for him in 2007, but I wasn't ready. Like sometimes you think you want something, but until you're really ready and you make that decision, which is something that Bob talks about, right? When he was mentoring us, is making a decision. Don't ask other people about your decision. Like you make the decision first and then you act on it. And something that I know so to be so true is that you can spend years just going in circles.
Absolutely, you can, yeah. And I like that you brought up the decision point too, because the two things that Bob has taught us about decisions is um, it's got to be a committed decision to move forward to really get what you want. You can't go in with out of convenience because then you don't keep driving forward to really move towards that. And I like the way you said that he reminded you of like maybe a grandpa or somebody that you would listen to because I felt that way as he mentored us. The way he would talk to us to try to one to get us to understand the material completely and then to go out there and teach this to other people to really make a difference in the world.
Then maybe I can flip it a little back on you.
Okay.
When you talk about the material, when you speak about the material, because I've spoken to persons about the material, what is it for you about this material that was different or that sparked something for you to take action daily? Because I
It's
see you
interesting
doing a
because
lot.
I've always read things by Dale Carnegie, which was one
Mm,
of Bob Proctor's mentors. And I got a lot of information from his books as far as time management and things like that. But really diving deep into the thinking into results material, I got a lot more. And I think that may be because of my level of awareness. I even went back and tested this because I have some of the Dale Carnegie books and went back and reread them. And I got something different out of them this time. But with thinking into results, I think what I love the best about it is that I truly understand that we are in control of our own lives. We don't have to let the outside world or the exterior world, what's going on the outside, control us. Everything comes from within. So our thinking process, we can really control the state of our future. And I just, I fell in love with that idea, right? Who doesn't want to control what's going to happen with them? And the beautiful thing is we all can control that. We just have to know how to do it.
absolutely, absolutely. It's so true. And something that you said also reminded me of the fact that why Bob considered himself a teacher. And for me, he was the ultimate teacher as well. He was so organized in his thoughts. And I think that comes with actually studying this material for 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
There are persons out there who they know similar things, but they don't have it organized in such a way that it makes sense. And it's actually kind of, we were talking about this, like, what do we call this, right? And the word that's popping up for me right now is roadmap. Like the steps that you need to take on a journey. And the steps that you take will ultimately bring you to the destination. But if you don't know what steps to take or which town to go to next, then you can basically be, like I said before, I felt like I was wandering for 14 years, just picking up bits and pieces here and there and not having a guide.
Right, right. And yeah, and I guess that's with thinking into results and how we use this for our coaching programs is that it's just consolidated very easily where everyone can understand it. And if you follow the teachings, you know exactly the next step. So if you keep going with it, you know you're going to get to your destination, your goal. Where I see a lot of people reading a lot of books, right? There's a lot of books out there, and you can certainly gather some information and get a little more. um, intuitive about what to do, I guess you could say. Um, but you can spend a lot of time just reading if you're not implementing anything. And
Absolutely.
whenever we're working with Bob and how we work with clients, we kind of keep everyone on track, let them be able to read the material, understand it by themselves, but then also keep them on track on making sure that everything's being implemented. And that's really where you get the results.
Yeah.
And I love it because it's people setting their own goals. What do they really want? And that can be anything, right? I mean, people want different things.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a talk with a client last week, and she was asking what's the difference between like coaching and doing this material. And the thing that popped out for me that I shared with her is that when you're sometimes you're doing coaching, the person comes to you and it's like you have a checklist. Oh, you said you were going to do that last week. Did you do it? What are you going to do next week? And so the power actually goes back to the coach. And as you just said, I believe we all have that power. The power is within us. So nobody needs to be, we're not children anymore. We're adults, at least our clients are adults. We are adults. And we don't need anyone to be checking us. We grow so much in awareness just using this material, doing things in a certain way, because people can be taking results and not, I mean, taking action, sorry, and not be getting results because they don't do it in a certain way.
Right.
Yeah. So we also had, I think we had two other things that popped up for us that we said we wanted to talk about. And it was also the structure of thinking into results. I mean, I think persons listening would want to know more about that. So thinking into results is, for persons that are listening, it's a 6-month program that you get for a lifetime. So you do work on a goal, but you can continually work on goals for the rest of your life just using the system. And you basically have the power, right, Jen? They basically have the power to use this for their entire lives. They don't have to depend on other people. And then we have a community where people, because we're waking up the world, at least that's how we see it. We're waking up the world, and people will we gravitate towards each other that's doing this, because when you and I have conversations, it's like, oh yeah, we're on the same level. We get
Yes.
it.
Yes, absolutely. One of the things we talked about, and it's wonderful what we do because we get to talk to people globally, right? You're in the Netherlands, is that right?
Yeah.
Um, and I'm here in the U.S., but we get to hear other people's stories. We get to hear other clients what they're doing, and get to see a lot of amazing things happening in the world. That's what's exciting to me. I think what's difficult is putting out what exactly we're doing, right? Because there's not a specific target audience that we're going after. It's everyone because it really depends on what is your goal. So the great thing about thinking into results is it can be any goal that you want. And this will get you to the goal that you want. Whenever I talk to people, some people want financial. Some people want happiness, they want health. Their goal can be several different things, and really zoning in on what are they shooting for and keeping focused on that goal and going through the steps. They soon realize that they can get it. And then you can start back over with the larger goal. And that's what I love about this. And what you mentioned is this is a life for a lifetime. You can use this over and over and over again.
Mhm. Absolutely. The material also, right? Sometimes we use words, or I've seen it with myself. Like I would use words like wealth and abundance, and I think some persons shy away from it because they think, yeah, I don't want to be wealthy or I don't want to be rich. But I think people misunderstand those words. From what I've learned, this awareness that we have is that we're all here to fulfill a purpose. There's something that you can do that I can't do, right? And you're the only one that can get that done. So to know that at the end, many years from now, at the end of your days, you will feel that sense of fulfillment that you came and you achieved. So wealth and riches is actually a balance between your happiness, your wealth, and your health. It's not all about money. So I'm glad that you mentioned that as well for, anyone watching, that they know that we're not only talking about money when we talk about riches or when we talk about wealth and abundance.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. And I think sometimes, whenever we're trying to get information out there um, to everyone, and there's a lot of books out there that have the word rich in it. Riches can mean many different things to many people, right? So I think it's like the richness of life is what that's about, and that can be defined by anyone. But I think the one thing to get it to a good point to get across is, you know, setting a goal to reach, just that personal growth alone will get you moving on the right track. And the other thing that we do is we try to help people with finding, because some people are looking like, what is my purpose? What's my purpose in life? So doing a self discovery, helping them work through that to figure out what are their unique gifts and talents. Some people may already be utilizing that in their current jobs or what they're currently doing, and some people may not be. They may have things that they love to do, and they're not doing that fully on their own. So, um, to me, I see people really getting charged up whenever they can finally figure out, oh, this is my purpose. And once you land on that, then things just take off. It's amazing to see.
Yeah, it is. I This really gets me so excited when I think about it. And when we have our meetings, right? When we have our meetings in the week and we're with all our other colleagues, it gets me really, really excited about. I feel like it's like people can start really living. We've seen the changes in people's lives. Like it's like night and day. People that were struggling with different things, with physical ailments, with financial, and yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
really
like,
exciting. So
yeah.
I got to ask you, you know,
Mhm.
um, what, how has this program and what we're doing now, how has it benefited you? What are some of the benefits that you've gotten? How has it changed your life?
Yeah, I know exactly what I do, why I do. And if I'm spinning for too much, for too long, procrastinating, I easily draw myself back and I understand the reason behind it. So before I would be able to like stop myself and then go back on track to do what I was doing. But I was an unconscious competent. So I did a lot of things and I didn't understand why I was doing it, or I wasn't able to spot it in other people. So I'm now able to spot it in my clients and I can say, hey, you're meeting up on a, we call it the terror barrier. So you are meeting up on this resistance from within. And the reason why the resistance is there is because so and so, and you can check back in lesson 7 and you can do your, just deep dive. So for me, it's more about awareness. It's less spinning my wheels. And also I get to share with my younger nephews and nieces about what they're doing. So I can actually pass on this knowledge that they can use. It's like somebody gives you the blueprint.
Yeah, that's great. I always think about this and I think whenever I found the material and I learned about it, it was like this is it. This is the key to everything I've been looking for, right? So for my life, just being able to exit the corporate world, get into doing things that I really love to do, it's exciting because my whole day is just filled with things that I want to do, not things that I have to do. And I would say peace of mind, just the peace of mind of uh, not stressing, not worrying, just being happy and feeling like, yeah, I found my purpose in being able to go out and help other people. And that is, to me, that's really rewarding just to be able to talk to other people and see the things that they do. And you said, I loved what you said earlier because I can recognize in other people their talents too. Just whenever if me and my husband are out, it's, I can recognize people's talents and I don't even know if they recognize it themselves, but I just have a different perception, I guess, about everything, which is also great. Makes me happy.
Perception. Yeah. So what are you doing in terms of, because I know we spoke a little bit about, the Reiki sessions and stuff. Maybe you can share like a little bit more of how you're implementing that in your business and with the teachings.
Oh yeah. So what I do right now, I'm a Reiki master. So I have a business called Natural Energy Healings. And so I do Reiki treatments for people. This is energy healing. And then I also teach courses. So really, the two went hand in hand. First, it was, working with Bob, and I learned all about energy through our thought energy and how that works with, our thinking, our feelings, and our actions. Um, and as I learned more about energy, I was really interested to to learn even more, and that's where I got into Reiki. And so yeah, I proved out, yeah, it's real. We all have the ability to do anything we want to, and that's even healing ourselves. So it was sort of
Mhm.
an experiment that I was doing along the way to see, can we really do anything that we want to do? And Reiki proved out to be true, and I was just amazed by the healings for myself and working with my family on it. And that's another thing that I do, because I want people to see. Yeah, and I teach it too, so they can understand. You can do anything you want to. Everybody has the ability to heal if they want to do it. And I just am trying to get people's awareness up that we are truly powerful people if we want to do, we can do anything that we set our mind to do. And Reiki is one of the easiest energy healings, easiest ones to learn. And I thought that was wonderful to share with everyone if you can heal yourself. So,
See, I didn't know that about Reiki, but I've done that. I've healed myself. Yeah, I had a little accident some years ago, and I was able to heal myself. And not that I didn't do the physical things that were required. I did rest, right? But I would talk to that part of my body. So I don't know if this I guess this conversation is going in somewhere else, but this is so fascinating. And now you say people can actually learn how to do it, and this comes back to being an unconscious competent. Like you do things, but school doesn't teach us, and we're not really taught. I love technology, right? I love how we have improved our lives and everything, but I think some of the things that ground us back to the creator and back to the planet, we have lost some of that teaching. And so we forget how to communicate with our higher faculties. We forget how to really communicate to God, to the creator, and how to heal ourselves, how to talk to our bodies, and how to connect at such a deeper level. It's so powerful what you just shared, because I think this puts like a whole different spin on the conversation. Like anybody knows that really, like you said, we're so powerful. And that's really, really why I love this, because I want people to know that also that they're powerful and that they can do anything that they want. And this is just a vehicle that will get them on the journey and get them exactly what they want. It's not about us. We are just Bob's conduit, so to speak. He wanted to share this information all over the world. I'm really, really excited about the future.
Right, me too. Yeah. So the energy healing is it is amazing. But that's something that I think will help build people's beliefs because people have a hard time believing that now. But if I can show them, um, then they would be able to have that ability and know that there's a lot more out there that they're not aware of. So it's exciting, an exciting journey. Um, and definitely, you mentioned the higher faculties, and we've definitely learned how to use those, which we're not taught. But I'm glad that I understand all that information now, and that's really where you can start getting your life moving quickly and making quantum leaps is by using the higher faculties, which we're all able to do.
Yeah, yeah. A question just popped into my head. If someone is listening and they say, yeah, how quickly can I change my life? Like, what would you say to them?
Oh, well, that's a tough one, right? I would say the biggest thing is you have to have a definite goal in mind of what you want. The other thing is you have to examine your belief systems because you're not going to get further than what your belief systems are. So you kind of have to really examine why do you believe as you do? Because if you can believe more than what maybe we were taught, I think we all have these conditioned belief systems that hold us back. So those are the two big things. What do you want, and is your belief system where you can manage that? Do you believe you can do it? And I think that's the tough part for some people is they want
Yeah.
to believe, but they don't know how to believe, and that's what some of these teachings will help people get there. So it can be different amounts of time for different people based on that reason.
You, you know the thing about belief, and you know this because Bob says it and Dog says it a lot as well. Like they say, just accept it. So Bob will tell us, you can do it, you can quantum leap, you just accept it. And I was listening to one of our colleagues today. She was doing a video on the power of faith, right? And faith is the just accepting the things that are not seen. So I think from what I've seen from persons that have gotten like massive results, and you're absolutely right, it depends so much on the person, is that it depends on how big their faith is and how much they're willing to let go, relax, and just follow the teachings, because this system that we're talking about, this roadmap actually gives them basically everything they want as long as they move themselves out of the way. And I think it's so much fun, right? Just going through the process and just getting to know yourself better and examining those beliefs and just being gentle and question like, why do I believe this? Well, Bob says you can earn this amount, or you can change your income, or you can change your happiness, or you can change your wealth. And he said it right there. He did it. So at what point do I accept and then start the process to moving closer to my goal?
Right. And he's millions of people have done it, right? We work with people every day. We work with people globally. We get to see all the stories. So we're kind of at an advantage to know that this is real, and I think our belief system is it's pretty easy to adapt to it because we see it all the time. So it's just a matter of being able to maybe get some stories like that out to other people on the things that we see to help their belief systems. You'd also mentioned faith, and I think that's a big one. And I remind people all the time because we are conditioned to worry about things. Are things going to be okay? And we have a faculty where imagination, and we use our imagination all the time for the wrong things. We're always thinking about things that could go wrong when really we should just have the faith. So what we've implemented in my life and my family, because I get to remind my family all the time, is just assume everything's going to go right. Just have the faith it's going to go right because That doesn't take any more energy, probably less energy, than worrying about something that's going to go wrong. And life is life. That doesn't, if there's a bump in the road, then we'll fix it at that time. But just assume everything's going to be good. And once you start getting that mindset and that mentality and really being able to have that all the time, um, it's wonderful.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. So I think we're almost at the top of the hour, and you also
Okay.
have another meeting. I just want to say to persons that are listening that, both of us, we are consultants with the Proctor Gallagher Institute, and not only do you get coaching from Bob, but you also get our experience as well. We're both coaches and Reiki master. So it's like a package deal. We really want persons who we can support, that they're willing to grow, willing to do the work on themselves. They know that they're meant for more. And even if your faith is a little bit small, just borrow our faith. We know that it is possible. And just reach out to us, and we're here to help you. Right, Jen?
Yes, very good. All right, thank you. And we'll be doing this again, right? We'll
Yes.
continue our discussions here to try to help everyone out. All right. Thanks, Rita.
Okay.
Bye
Talk to
bye.
you later. Bye.